this is one of the ways that you can save money before construction. Anytime you're doing a home remodel or a build project, demo can be one of the more expensive, unexpected costs, and a lot of the times it's also one of the more least visible in terms of how much they're allocating for that budget. So I'm going to show you how to easily remove carpet. Much more simple than you might think. Anybody can do it. So there's a few tools that I have to use. This one is a carpet cutter. It's sold at Home Depot. It specifically says carpet cutter. You could probably use just a regular blade knife, just something really sharp, because cutting through the pad as well as the carpet is pretty thick. We also have this is actually a precision cutter. It works for both the baseboard molding. I use it for the tack stripping as well, just because it's easier to get under that piece of wood and pull it up. This is just a regular flat bar. Just if you run into pretty much anything tricky. It doesn't have a lot of precision on the edge, so it doesn't really work as well for tack stripping or things that need a very small space to pry up. And then lastly, I have a staple remover that makes it where you can just pop up the staples that are keeping your carpet on the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how we go about this. The first thing that I'm going to use is our carpet cutter. So what I'm going to do is kind of draw a line, and I typically like to do this in squares. The reason being is along the edges is where it's going to be stapled down to a piece of wood, which we call tack stripping. But that is where you can potentially, when you're either lifting up the carpet or trying to cut it, you have the most potential of stabbing your finger, poking it, whichever. In the middle is where it typically doesn't have anything stapling it down, so that's the safest place to pull it up before you pull up the edges. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna start near the baseboard and dig in deeply. Remember that there is just kind of what they call OSB or plywood flooring underneath here. So be conscious of that, but it's pretty difficult to damage, so don't worry too much. And sometimes you gotta go a few slices to get really into the pad. All right, and then now I'm just gonna see if I can lift this guy up a bit. All right, so I've got my hand underneath and I'm gonna pull up the edges. It might be worth considering wearing some sort of eye protectant, just because if you are pulling this up quickly and a staple flies, better safe than sorry. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up. So now you have good visibility. Sometimes these will stay in the tack stripping, sometimes they'll stay in the carpet edge, so just make sure you watch your hands or use some sort of protected gloves or hand gear. But so this is the first layer of carpet, and now I'm going to look at pulling the pad up. And as you can see, there are some staples adhered to the pad in certain places. Not so much in the center, but it does exist, so don't think it's completely a safe zone, but much safer than pulling it up from the edge. So I'm gonna pull this back, and it rips up pretty easily most of the time, kind of depending on how long the carpet that you've had installed has been there. But all right, so if you get a closer look, you can see how there's a ton of staples, and this is what our tack stripping is. It is very long and tedious to get out, so it is one of the more expensive demo items that are smaller. Make sure, if you are doing this yourself and you're trying to cut costs from a construction company, that you pull all the staples out, because they will charge to come back and clean up any that you didn't. So what I'm gonna do is try to look for a place that might have a little bit of give underneath the tack stripping, because it'll be a lot easier to pry up. But you just kind of have to work your way underneath, and let's see. The struggle is real. It can be very difficult, as you can see. but yeah, you just kind of have to keep working it and then let it come up in pieces. It'll make it a little bit easier. And then usually a corner of it will pop, and there we go. It will come off in chunks like this. And then finally, going back to our staple remover, I'm just gonna make sure I get all these little guys. And you know, this is where glove protecting comes in. If you have one like that you can't get with this, just go grab some pliers and it'll come out easily. But usually it's just like this, where they just pop out. All right, I'm Kristina Morsman, Protege Design Company. Thanks for watching our how to pull up your own carpet.